things.
There we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of, well, was it really that bad? But today we're going to be calling it, does it really deserve all the hate? Because today we're talking about The Incredible Hulk, which is the movie that came out in 2008, starring Edward Norton, directed by Louis Leterrier. If I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. This was distributed by Universal at the time, back when Marvel was still its own little studio, and it came out right after
She just jumped
Iron
in,
Man.
man. You just
Oh,
jumped in.
sorry.
Like I'm the Uncanny Omar. This is
That's the Uncanny
the
Omar. You
amazing
guys know
Amanda.
who he is. He didn't
But
even put our things up, so no one
I
knows.
look. I got this. Okay, watch. Bam. Okay, I got it. I was just waiting for you to give me the heads up, but you didn't. You just went straight into like this movie's directed by this. We're talking about the Incredible Hulk. So there we have it.
I
We are
guess I got a
talking
lot
about.
of information. I've got a
You
lot. I
do.
did a lot of research
You know,
for this film because
I
I know.
usually, since it's a live episode, I usually wait till people start trickling in a little bit. But
Yeah.
man, you're on point, which I like. I need that.
Well,
I
let
need
me
that.
pull up the chat on my other screen while we wait.
Okay.
I know,
Okay.
Michael. I don't know where the foreplay is tonight. I don't know. I'm just so
Man,
ready to
Amanda
talk
is
about this
not about
film.
foreplay. She's been drinking. She wants to get right into
That's
the
right.
nitty gritty.
That's right.
YouTube's gonna try to take you down again. Yeah, we might as well just show the whole clip, the whole
Yeah,
movie.
we're not showing anything, guys. I can't believe we were able to get over 1,000 hits on that video, knowing that it's halfway through the actual segment.
Like I think we did a pretty good job of like, oh, this happened, but yeah, I think it was like 5 minutes in before I mentioned. Oh, by the way, our original video crashed, and this is so. One of the things I did want to add before we start is when we do these segments, so this is right. Does it deserve all the hate, right? Or was it really that bad? When we do these segments, we ourselves don't pick out the movies. We take the top 20 lowest rated movies across the board through different websites, Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and a couple of others, and we take the lowest average, and then we put up a poll. So we let you all vote. So it's not like we ourselves are like, man, I really hate whatever. But there are a couple of movies that I really did hate.
Yeah.
But as I found out, I mean, X-Men Last Stand was not as bad as I remembered. But we're going to find out tonight if the Incredible Hulk is one of those movies that for some reason gets
the bastard child of the MCU is what I refer to it as.
Well, it gets a lot of hate. A lot of hate. And I don't know what it has to do with. I don't know if people don't take it seriously, like it's not part of the MCU. But this movie is one of the lowest rated MCU movies. And honestly,
it's the second on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the second. Thor 2 is the lowest rated. This is second at 67%.
I still think this is okay. Well, that's another story. We'll get to
which is funny because Iron Man 3 is way up there. So I was like, we really should have put Iron Man 2 in the
but that's only on that side. There's a couple of other sites that had it down low.
Oh wow. Well, no, on Rotten Tomatoes, Iron Man 2 is a 73, and Iron Man 3 is about 79. I do because I hated Iron Man 2.
All right. So we're gonna find out tonight why. Let's discuss it. So whoa! Look at this comments coming in swinging strong. Jay Gunn, Incredible Hulk over the Avengers Hulk. Maybe I may agree with that. We'll see.
I don't know. Okay.
Now, Amanda, you are the queen of giving synopsis.
Information that no one needs. Oh, okay.
Also that.
All right. So a little bit backstory. Like I said before, right in the beginning of this, just jumping in, this movie did come out in 2008. It came right on the heels of Iron Man, the original one, when Marvel Studios was still just a little studio that could, where Iron Man was actually distributed originally by Paramount until Disney bought out Marvel Studios a couple years later. This one, of course, was distributed by Universal because Universal still had those rights. And what kind of rights? Well, we'll talk about that if we ever get into it, because I know a lot of people probably have some idea or comments about, Disney and why they don't make a Hulk movie, et cetera, et cetera.
Really quick, we are talking about The Incredible Hulk, the 2008.
2008. Yes,
so this is Edward Norton.
Yes. We're talking about the Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, Tim Blake Nelson, Tim Roth, and of course, William Hurt, the only one who ended up bleeding over into the rest of the MCU that we know and love. And apparently, if you
That is a good question. Do you write a draft before expounding on us? I like that word.
I write notes, does that count?
See, all my videos come from my head, so they're used to me
I
just
need notes.
rambling. But you're on point, man.
Yes. And I lost my train of thought. Where was I at?
I don't know.
Oh,
You were
William Hurt
talking-
was the only one who bleeded into the actual MCU, which, if the rumors are true, he might make an appearance.
Whoa.
Yeah, anyways.
We'll get to that in a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and start talking about this Incredible Hulk movie. Amazing Amanda, will you please give us a quick synopsis?
All right. So
DJ, we haven't gotten there yet. But we are going to be talking about spoilers.
Yeah, we are going to be talking about spoilers for a movie that came out in 2008. So if you can't take over 10 years of worth of spoilers, then leave the chat
Maybe
now.
I should take some notes. All right, I'll start taking notes.
To be fair, he edits all his videos, so he could riff all the time, and then he edits. I have to go live, so...
Well, and also, like, when I'm editing my videos, it's not like I can add in, like, oh, crap, that's not the right... I just let it go. Like, I get corrected so often on my videos, and I don't mind. I love when people interact with me that way. Then you wouldn't have... Andrew, if I started taking notes, then you wouldn't have the charm of this brain just rambling. I don't know if that's what I would call it.
We love a good ramble.
That's right. Ramblers, let's get rambling. Let's get
rambling. All right, so Incredible Hulk does something a little different, where they don't do the origin story all over again, which I appreciate. They use the opening credits to do a basically montage regarding the Hulk's, or Bruce Banner, how he became the Hulk and everything that followed after. So it takes place first and foremost where Hulk is in Brazil, hiding out from Thunderbolt Ross and the government while he tries to control his anger. He has a watch on him where he keeps his, maybe a Fitbit, probably not. Fitbits weren't really around back then. Keeping track of his heart rate, because he knows if it goes up to a certain point, then the Hulk comes out. He works at a bottling plant for some Brazilian soda, and he just tries to go around life avoiding conflict. Meanwhile, Thunderbolt Ross is trying to find him any way he can. And how does he find him? Well, he gets into a little bit of a mini brawl where he cuts his finger, and this is what happens when you don't have manufacturing in America. You get like droplets of blood.
Well, now, don't you go generalizing factories down in damn South America.
Have you seen American Factory on Netflix? I'm just saying. People picking through glass without, and that's in Japan. China.
Quality control, Amanda.
Quality control, yes, without quality control. So with Stan Lee cameo, Stan Lee back in America gets his bottle, and I guess he has a reaction to the blood that was in it, because obviously it's Bruce Banner's blood. Thunderbolt Ross gets wind of this, and he's like, go to Brazil and find the white guy that's there. And so he heads down to Brazil, or with his team, led by Tim Roth's character, Blonsky, and they are going to retrieve the Hulk.
Right.
Yes. So they make it down there. He has to run. They end up killing his dog, and which is, never a good thing. And then you get your first glimpse of this version of the Hulk, but it's shadowed. They're in a darkened factory, and he ends up becoming the Hulk because some of the guys who worked at the factory who wanted to pick a fight with him end up trying to attack him in the middle of why he's trying to run away from these secret spy, government agents who are after him. And so he ends up, you see flashes of him fighting as the Hulk. They end up getting out of there. He ends up going back to America because the whole time he's been contacting this person named Mr. Blue, and he's been Mr. Green through like a secret encoded computer about trying to find some sort of a cure for him.
Yeah, way to go, smartest guy in the world, calling yourself Mr. Green.
Right. Well, it's an encrypted, secure internet line.
I get it.
Thunderbolt Ross would never find it. And
continue.
So he goes back to America, and of course he wants to check in on his beau, Betty Brant, played by Liv Tyler. And she has moved on, found someone else, which is a psychiatrist played by Ty Burrell from Modern Family. And so he goes off to
Leonard. Wasn't that his name? The character's name?
I think so.
Yeah, not that anybody cared.
Not
but
that anyone cares.
Right.
He was barely, he was just in it. So he goes to try to find a friend to stay with, which is that gentleman who I don't remember his relationship, but I guess he just owns a restaurant that him and Betty used to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's staying with him. Betty, of course, comes in one night with her new psychiatrist boyfriend. And of course, he realizes it's her and he's trying to leave and she catches a glimpse. So then they get reunited and they have some, moments together, if you will, which then, of course, this spurs the whole thing with Thunderbolt Royce finding him. They have this big scuffle on a college campus. And during this whole time, Blonsky gets pretty much coerced by Thunderbolt Ross into taking the super soldier serum, pretty much what Banner's been working on, which is what we've seen, in the rest of the MCU movies. That's what the whole storyline is. That's what he's working on.
Mhm.
And it makes him stronger, obviously. But of course, Banner is still stronger as the Hulk, as we all know. And he ends up pretty much laying the guy out. And then
you forgot to mention the best part about these little things right now.
What?
There was a couple cameos now. During
yes, Lou Ferrigno's cameo.
His wonderful cameo. Security guy, I think.
Security guy.
And Stan Lee, right? With the drink.
Stan Lee, yes, I said that. He was the cameo by Stan Lee.
You did. I'm sorry, I wasn't
no,
paying
you're fine. You weren't paying attention. It's okay.
Really.
I was just rambling a plot, so you weren't paying attention.
Nope.
So we're on we're on the college campus, and
this is a really good question right here from Hayden. Wasn't Leonard supposed to be Doc Samson from the comics? And that's what I heard too. Like
I heard that as well, but
somebody told me that in the chat, and that's what I was looking for this time around when I was watching it, and I didn't. I mean, maybe? I don't know. But Amanda, carry on.
Yeah, no problem. So
always on point.
Always on point. Thunderbolt Ross decides to attack him with everything he's got, which is a bunch of missiles. And as he's doing so, or rockets, and he doesn't realize, and I don't know how he didn't realize that Betty was walking towards the Hulk this whole time because it was so out in the open, but he didn't realize it until it was too late. But luckily the Hulk is so powerful, he can shield her from the blast. She still is knocked unconscious because there's still missiles. But out of the rubble, he escapes with Betty and they go seek some refuge. Then we have a couple of cute scenes. They're on the run and she wants to have sex with him and he can't have sex because he's afraid of his heart rate. Black Widow wasn't afraid of that.
You gonna bring Black Widow into this? She wasn't even part of this conversation.
Though to be fair, I don't think Liv Tyler's Betty Brant was all. She was kind of more curious and everything like that.
Their chemistry was anyway. We'll go ahead.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that part too. We'll discuss all that. All right. So they're going to look for Mr. Green. She has all the data, all the research. She has it all. So they go to look for Mr. Green, Mr. Tim Blake Nelson, who every time I think of him, all I think of is Holes, Buster Scruggs, Brother Where Art Thou. I don't ever really think of him being a scientist who will be the leader, right? Stearns is supposed to be the leader. Yeah, I just didn't get that vibe.
Well, I mean, as much as the vibe is what's his name? Hector Hammond in Green Lantern.
Yes, exactly. As much as you get as Hector Hammond.
But whatever.
So they finally find him and they, I guess, put the cure in him is what I believe is what happens. But of course, Thunderbolt Ross and his crew find him. And of course, even though Blonsky was all messed up because he has super soldier serum, he healed completely. So they go to attack. Banner manages to escape. And then Blonsky basically not really forces, but tries to force Dr. Stearns into giving him more to make him stronger because he wants to be stronger. And so he, of course, takes that and guess what he becomes? He becomes the Abomination. And it's funny because he makes Tim Blake Nelson says, I don't know, whatever you have in your system and whatever I put in you, it could create an abomination. I was like, Yes, it will.
Look at Amanda. It's like she just watched the movie.
It's like I just watched this
Like she
movie.
is literally just watched the movie and is telling y'all what happened. She's the best.
So this
is what
leads
we do in quarantine. We go ahead.
Yes. So this leads into the big face-off. All right. So of course, the big face-off happens, and the Abomination basically wants to fight the Hulk. So Banner, they don't know if the cure worked or not, right? So he's on this helicopter because he was captured, right? They don't know whether or not it's going to work, and he's just like, I've got to try. And she's like, but you'll die. Well, of course, he doesn't die. He falls, and then he becomes the Hulk. He goes out in a whole-out battle with the Abomination. They fight, and he wins. And of course, at this point, Thunderbolt Ross kind of changes sides a little bit when he tells his guys to shoot at the guy who's not green. So they're trying to help him out by shooting at the Abomination. He ends up winning. He escapes. And for him, that's kind of where the movie ends. He goes back into hiding. As we know,
one little cameo.
Except for the one, yes, except for the one little cameo at the end, which is, of course, Robert Downey Jr.
And we all know him as Dr. Doolittle.
As Dr. Doolittle. Or Sherlock Holmes.
Amanda needs to write the Wikipedia plot synopsis for movie. She really does. Yeah, she really does. Or she is reading the Wikipedia plot synopsis.
That was all me. When you see me over here looking
y'all want to see Amanda snap, she's drinking wine again. I can make her snap. Give me 10 more minutes.
Our dinner took too long, so I haven't eaten yet. All right, so that's the synopsis of the movie, Omar. So do you want to talk about our thoughts on the movie? I've kind of interjected a few of mine.
Yeah, let's talk about the things that we did like.
Yeah, sure.
One of the things that I liked about this movie was I'm a sucker for helicopter shots, right? So the chase scene was in Brazil where they're chasing him through the town.
Yes.
Very reminiscent of like Mission Impossible 3. But I dug it. I love that chase scene. I thought it was really good. And then the CG itself, I thought was pretty.
The Hulk to me, but okay.
Well, I kind of liked it when he was in the shadows. So the fight scene at the end, was it the Bronx when they fought at the end? Him and Abomination.
They were in New York. Yeah.
That I loved. Like I thought that looked awesome. Like the fight scene, dude. When he grabbed the cars and just started fighting the Abomination, they're throwing each other in buildings. Like I said, what? This is the Hulk that I wanted to see hit Thanos. Like that's what it like. The Mark Ruffalo Hulk at the end of Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
No, this is what I wanted. I wanted fucking Hulk to grab a couple of the damn Chitauri and just slam them.
He was like that in Avengers. It's just they decided to go with the smart Hulk routine, and maybe it wasn't the best idea on their part.
But I mean, even in Smart Hulk, lashes out just like
of course.
So Harlem. It's Harlem. That's where it was. Thank you. It was in Harlem. You are absolutely right. So that's those are the two biggest things that I remember really enjoying about this movie. Was the big fighting sequence with the Abomination, because you needed something like that. Because I mean, in the Ang Lee cut, he fought what gamma ray dogs and maybe like I said,
he didn't
not Nicolas Cage, Nick Nolte as the Absorbing Man.
Yeah, he didn't really have much of a battle. So yeah, as far as the fight scenes were concerned, they had a lot of good action shots. I'll give him that.
So I forgot about the swinging the tank around. That was fun, but it was all during the daytime. And I think that was a lot of my problems with that movie. Like the daytime shots just look bad, whereas these were at nighttime, so they look better. Even though the CG on Hulk. Wait, go ahead.
No, I say. Well, no, you can say CG on. I'll get at that.
No, I was just going to talk about the CG on Hulk.
No, I was saying the only problem I have with the fight scenes is, and this might be the problem with just the overall design of the Hulk, is that I couldn't even tell who was who sometimes because the coloration and someone had mentioned that they were very dark fight scenes. They were like some of the darkest fight scenes ever. It was very dark, especially even at and I get it, it's at nighttime, but even the Hulk himself when he says shoot at something that's green, I was like, I wouldn't be able to tell which one was green or not, to be quite honest, while I'm watching this film. So if I was them all the way up in that helicopter, I don't know if I'd be able to tell which one is more green than the other one. So that was my only issue with with those fight scenes, was basically the character design overall.
Okay. Now,
yes, Sean, I'm trying to say that all Hulks look the same.
There it is.
There
all
it is.
green people look the same. Shrek, Hulk, Smart Hulk. Dad, Poppy. That's right. Oh, wait, not me. Sorry. Hi, guys. Just joined. Hope you guys are well. Thank you for joining us, Awesome Gamers. Thank you, all of you, for
Yes,
joining us.
thank you, guys.
So we are just gotten to Amanda's, the very end of her quick synopsis of The Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
And we were talking about the things that we enjoyed. Now, those are the two things that I liked. Like I said, the fight in Harlem, to me, was one of the best MCU fights. What about you? What did you like about this movie?
I liked the action sequence. I didn't find the first half of the movie, I didn't find the plot all that terrible either. I mean, as far as the plot goes, I felt to me like it was a very concise and strong plot. And guys, this was also written by Zach Penn, same guy who did the X-Men Last Stand movie that we talked about, and I guess Avengers. That we don't know how much of it is him and how much of it is Joss Whedon rewrites. But I didn't mind the plot so much. I thought it was tight.
Tight?
Tight?
Where was this, the 90s? Or is there another definition for tight I don't know about these days? I don't keep up with the youth.
I mean, overall, I didn't mind the film as much as I thought I was going to, considering that I never watched this one.
Wait. So would you say that it would not deserve all the hate?
I wouldn't say it doesn't deserve all the hate, but there are aspects of it that wasn't. I could see why it got a lower score than
Let's
other
talk
movies.
about the things that we did not like about the movie. And ladies first, because you look like you're looking down at like 35 little points, like bullet points.
Okay. The first one is Liv Tyler as Betty Brant. Yeah. Liv Tyler overacts in a lot of scenes. Her lilting, overacting works so well when she is Arwen
on Aerosmith. I was going to say Aerosmith.
Or in Aerosmith film, music videos, which is weird considering that she's his daughter. But that's fine. It's whatever. But in this kind of film, I didn't particularly like.
It's hard to top Jennifer Connelly, though. You know,
well, Jennifer Connelly's a great actress. Yeah, I mean, Liv Tyler's not a bad actress, but it was just, I just didn't like her as Betty Brant because of how she acted. There were some scenes where I just feel like she went way over the top on some of her emotions.
I think that happened.
Well, yeah, and like Liv Tyler's good at Empire Records. Rick Nelson said, yeah, and again, because in Empire Records. And
wow, way to bring it back into Empire Records.
I mean, in some of these movies, she kind of plays that fantasy girl or whatever. Like, and this, that's not really the type of role she's playing, I guess. And I didn't have that. She's supposed to be a doctor. I just didn't feel that from her.
Well, I felt that way about Ed Norton's character.
Well, I felt the same way.
Felt like he was that smart of a dude.
I didn't either.
And
I believe Mark Ruffalo's a scientist. I do, because he is just the nerdiest looking dude. I do not believe.
Okay, we're gonna go by looks, though.
No, but not looks.
Norton
even
is
the way
a really scrawny guy.
When Ruffalo talks about the science, right, he comes across like he is a well-versed scientist. I don't get that from Edward Norton. And maybe it's just the way he acted. He's very dull when he's like, I know he's trying to keep his heart rate down, but there's a way to be dull but still a little bit exciting in your acting, and I didn't get that from him. And he's a great actor. Do not get me wrong. I love Edward Norton, guys. I'm just saying maybe this wasn't the role. Was not my role for him. And I didn't like their chemistry much either. I didn't feel much between them.
Yeah, there were some really weird moments between them. I don't understand Thunderbolt Ross's, which is, again, hurt, right?
Yeah, and I don't know how he got to be Secretary Ross, because he's the one who caused the destruction in Brazil on a college campus in the Bronx. I mean, he's just shooting at everyone. But
let's clarify something, though. I love Ed Norton.
Yes.
Ever since
Darkness,
Primal Fear, that guy's one of my top favorite actors.
Yes.
And I guess I was expecting some kind of level of, I don't know, how do I put it? Just a smarter Bruce Banner, since he is the one that went in and touched up the script.
Yes.
Him and Zach Penn. We got a super chat,
Yes.
and thank you so much, El
Yes,
Torito
thank you, El
Films.
Torito. How you doing today?
Amanda's day is going great, apparently. She's almost down with that first glass of wine. And I'm all right, man. I'm just all right. I'm all right.
Justin made a good point. You notice in the MCU, there's always a male shirtless scene, and they're all ripped, but Bruce Banner's is average and hairy. Yes, Bruce Banner is average and hairy. Mark Ruffalo does not get super ripped for his role because he doesn't need to be because he's a scientist. It's the Hulk that gets. That's what I think that.
Django Fett is bringing up something that I
Yes.
thought. Was this the case of something like Sean Connery and the League?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I
Where,
think so.
well, Sean Connery himself hated the film so much, like it made him quit acting. He retired, right?
Yeah.
So, but he was in the editing process of that, and I think Ed Norton saw the script and tried to touch up on it. That's why it surprised me that his portrayal of Bruce Banner wasn't what I was expecting. Wasn't something more than.
That's what he was going, but that's probably what he was going for then.
I guess that's just really, I don't know.
Yeah, and so I think those are my biggest issues. Besides, obviously, like I said, the character design, like some of the proportions for the Hulk, I just felt like they weren't accurate.
What's up, John Williams? You did not score this movie, and you should have.
No, you should have. Another thing I didn't like was the score. I found
let's not. We may put League on this just to see if people want us to watch it. I haven't seen that movie since it came out in the theater, and I remember that was one of those movies.
I actually like that movie.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I'm not a fan of them, but I like the comic books. But anyway, where were we?
Yes, he was more like a chartreuse Hulk. He was not very green at all. That's my character design and the proportions. His head was so tiny for his body, and it was just weird.
Well, that was because they weren't using, they weren't doing the CG capture, right? Back then. Wasn't it just the CG
they could still have fixed it so his head was not as small as his body. It was
some people are naturally built like that. I don't. Not
it's
Oprah,
true, but not Ed Norton. Why would, when you have Ed Norton, like, he wasn't originally like that. I mean, that's weird that the genes wouldn't still be the same even after he turned into the big green man.
Me personally, thank you again, El Torito Films. Me personally thought the 2003 Hulk was better. I like aspects of the 2003 Hulk. That one gets a lot of hate too.
Yeah.
But I thought this Hulk looked great. I like this design of the Hulk more.
See, I don't.
See, I like how ripped he was at the end. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's
ripped,
what I wanted.
But I still prefer the Avengers Hulk.
Okay, well, how about this? This Hulk over Professor Hulk?
No, I don't like that. No, yeah, this Hulk, I guess, over Professor Hulk, because I just want to see the Hulk smash. I mean, well, think about. I mean, I have never read a Smart Hulk story, so I wouldn't know what to expect.
We need to fix that. We got to show.
Since we've read like Planet Hulk, I mean, the two main stories read of the Hulk have been Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, and yeah, that's the Hulk I like to see more than Smart Hulk.
Avengers Hulk was a more ape-like body with Ruffalo's screen capture, right?
Yeah, with Ruffalo's screen capture, yeah, but at least proportionally, it made more sense, and I just think the character design didn't look so bleak and like they almost looked like average, like the kind of average monster-y looking monster creatures we would have seen.
Timmy Ray, I think the 1978 Hulk TV show was the best Hulk interpretation. I have fond memories of being scared like shitless, like when that like the opening of that show would come on and I would hide. Like, I would go and hide, and I don't know why. I love the show. I still watched it, but I could not watch the opening. It used to scare the shit out of me.
I think I could
as a little kid. Why's that?
Why you like it? Well, because I was doing some research on it, like why this, like what makes Hulk such a bad, like why is Hulk not a movie that, or why can't they make a good Hulk movie, right, was what people were saying. Because everyone likes the TV show, and I think a large part of it is that there's the balance between action and then the introspective look of what Bruce Banner's going through. And the TV show showed more of that, the struggle that Bruce Banner has. Like this movie, I didn't see a lot of that struggle, right? Except for him watching his watch constantly to not get to his above heart rate. Whereas I think Eric Bonas may have had too much of the psychological, not enough of the action. I don't know. But I think that's where the TV show can do that because it has episodes to draw everything out, correct? So that's might be why it works.
Well,
And
and
that's
one
why
of
the She-Hulk movie or TV show will probably be great.
What kind of conversation are you all having in the damn chat? Omar also hid when the Love Boat. I love the Love Boat. That theme to the Love Boat, I play it in my head at least once a week. Are they making a movie about that?
The Love Boat, who knows? Probably.
Thank you.
Until
And that's what makes Immortal Hulk so great. And why I love that story so much was because it takes a lot of just parts that you enjoy. Like you have this detective, well, the reporter that's coming after Bruce Banner, David Banner, right? It's very similar to that feel of the show. Amanda, you're staying very hydrated.
Well, yes, because I'm talking
We ain't
a
gonna
lot.
bring that up again. You ain't gonna do that again.
That's right, Jack. That's exactly right.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna take more, but there's no wine left.
There's no wine left. You need somebody to just like, garçon. Another round, please.
Your brother's downstairs. I could ask him, but he's trying to level up some characters on Marvel's Ultimate Alliance for us, so we can play it tonight. So,
when doubted, Omar, they're making a movie about the theme park ride. Of course they are. But I mean, haven't they been doing theme park ride movies too, like Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes. No, I like the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Go get Lyndon. Mommy needs more wine. But sure. Savage Hulk doesn't speak. He just
natural glass. My glass is empty too. Oh, I feel you. It's rough, and I don't want to leave you guys, so we'll be good. I'm already a little red in the face, and I still need to eat, so we're all good. So back
that
to
type of show. Go ahead.
To the Incredible Hulk, though.
All right, bring it back.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of. I don't know.
What do you think a lot of the hate comes from? Like, what is it that people want to see on screen that these two movies tried to do? Because if you think about it, like, people complain about the first movie saying that there wasn't enough Hulk smashing, not enough action. And then this one, the last part is complete in your face. Like action. I said, tearing exactly what you see in the comic books, tearing up this entire city block.
But then I don't think there's enough of the maybe it is the plot. Maybe it is the I think it's just not enough of the struggle between the two. I mean, because that's what makes the Jekyll and Hyde story so intriguing, right? When you read Jekyll and Hyde, you get aspects of what Dr. Jekyll is going through, and you also get what Mr. Hyde is going through. Like when so you get both of those. So maybe that's the issue: is the movies can't do both, or they haven't been able to do both successfully. You see a little bit of it with Mark Ruffalo's, but because you get so many times to see him as a supporting character, so you get to have hints of it, the different struggles he's going through, and except when he becomes Smart Hulk, mixing the brains with the bronze.
And I want to say, like, I wonder if there's characters that just don't have that on-screen presence, but Hulk, I mean,
he should, right?
Your typical, like you said, Jekyll and Hyde story.
But think of this way, like Spider-Man. We've had how many iterations of Spider-Man? And think about how many comic books you've had of Spider-Man. But what makes him great? When he's in character, even when he's Spider-Man.
Oh, you're asking yourself. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I am. It's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer.
Okay. I'm going to be quiet over here in the corner.
Peter Parker story, right? Him struggling as a teenager. And then he turns to Spider-Man. But you still get Spider-Man as Spider-Man. And he's quippy and he's interactive. With Hulk, you get Hulk smash until he becomes Smart Hulk, I guess. And yes, there's elements like when it's Planet Hulk. I mean, I don't know much about comic history. You have to tell me. But as far as Hulk sales are concerned, I mean, have his runs done well, or does he do better as part of the Avengers in the comics? Like a Planet Hulk.
Honestly, he wasn't really a part. He wasn't never really a part of any team, with the exception of the Defenders. Like in Avengers, I mean, he wasn't really in it until literally just until Bendis's run, because that was tying into the movies.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it, and the sales of really don't mean much, right?
No,
like,
it doesn't mean much.
Stories,
but as far as
the biggest sales, they were during like Peter David's run.
Yeah.
And during David's run is when he broke down the psychology or the psyche of who Bruce Banner is, who the monster is.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see.
Well, and I think that's going to be difficult to show on screen, though.
It is.
Without making it kind of like what you said, almost like a TV opera show, like a
Yeah,
TV soap
which that's
opera
why I
thing.
think the She-Hulk might be actually a great. I mean, I think it will be a great TV show
It
if that's
could
what
be
they plan
because
to
she's
do.
a
Yeah,
little bit different than Bruce, though.
she's a
Like,
little bit different, but
so I'm interested to see where that's gonna go. But
yeah, that's why I don't think we'll ever see a. Well, that's one of the reasons why we'll never see a Hulk movie again.
World War Hulk versus Thanos would be a different story,
Oh yeah.
right? Like that's what I wanted. I wanted that, and I didn't get it out of it. And that was one of my issues with Endgame.
But
Not
we're
many.
not talking about Endgame. We're talking about the Incredible Hulk.
All right, Mom. So bringing it back to this, thought the CG at points, was okay, but most of the times, like during the fight scenes, I thought it was on point. I like the long helicopter shots. The script, I honestly don't know what could have helped.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was boring because it literally just jumps into the story. You get a quick recap, and then there's
No.
chase scenes.
Chase scenes, and I mean, it held my attention, but it didn't just, I don't know, captivate me the way I expected to be captivated by a superhero movie, I guess.
Okay.
It was
Well,
just average.
Let's go for anybody that has seen it, and please join us if you're in the comment section if you're not joining us live. But for anybody that has seen it, let's go ahead and rate it out of 10.
Yes.
Ladies first. Amazing Amanda, what would
Well,
you
do
rate
we want
this
to
out
give
of
them
10?
the ratings for that everyone else gave it first?
No.
Like IMDb
I don't
and
care. We took the
okay,
average.
well,
We're
I'm
fine.
just
No, I
okay,
mean
fine.
it's just because we took the average. That's all that matters.
All right,
Why
so
this people really didn't like this movie. So what would you give this movie out of 10?
I would probably give it a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of nice. I didn't expect you to do that high.
Oh shoot, I'm probably on board with a lot of other people in the chat, so that's good.
I was going to give it a 6. It is not my least favorite MCU movie, but I don't get a lot of the hate that it gets. So to answer the question, to me at least, was it really that bad, or does it really deserve
I wouldn't
all
watch
the
it
hate?
again.
So you didn't like it then?
No, not that much. I would rate Iron Man 3 higher.
And that's where we differ. But that's okay. Difference of opinion is great, unless you're wrong. But that's another story.
But I'm not wrong.
Are you not though? All right, so let's go and highlight some of these. We got a 7 out of 10 from Darkness, 6.5. -1 from Sean Sullivan. I love that.
Sean.
Like,
I like
you wanted your money back.
It's better than Dark Phoenix. Yes, it still is better than Dark Phoenix because that was just a mess. Everything about that was a mess.
6.5 from Michael.
7 from Hayden.
7.4. I love you, Rick. 6.5. 8. Rob really liked him. 5.5. Incredible Hulk, David Moreno.
Oh, yeah, Incredible Hulk, 2008 movie.
Jordan,
David.
6.5. 6.5. So a lot. You're on the ballpark with everybody else, just about.
Yeah.
I think there we go. Justin and Andrew, we all rated it a 6. Let's not talk about Iron Man 3.
I want to read
Omar, you either turned that into. I can't, man. I loved it. I think it. Honestly, the saving grace of it was the final fight. That's to me still one of the best fights in the MCU universe that I don't hear people talk about. CG effects and everything. I don't get it.
Like I said, it's the bastard child. It wasn't produced by Disney.
I didn't say it was great.
Bought by Disney.
7
so therefore,
out of 10.
it is just the dark horse of the whole franchise.
It's a good movie, but it's no Catwoman. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean? Oh man, you all really want us to see that. So somebody suggested doing the same thing with the
DCU.
DCU.
Yet every time we put it in the thing, no one votes.
No, it gets outvoted by other crappy movies. All right, my boy Peter gives it a 7. It's been years since I've seen it. I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters, and I actually own the Blu-ray, so I popped it in and watched it.
Look at that! Look at that!
Logan is better than Endgame and Joker. Whoa, controversial. One of my favorite things about doing this segment is the fact that I love when people come in and everybody has their own opinion, right?
Yes.
And people get offended sometimes. They're like, "How dare you say that this is?" But it like within that comment, like right underneath that comment, somebody else saying Ant-Man and Wasp sucked, and then above that is Ant-Man and Wasp is the greatest movie. I love it because everybody has a difference of opinion.
Yeah,
and us nerds love to argue.
We love to.
It's like the playground at school all over again.
And you're nut. I'm not saying all movies produced by Disney are good. I'm saying that I'm saying that Disney is not going to go out of their way to promote the Incredible Hulk even after all this as part of the franchise. I mean, it is part of the franchise, but they're not
but it's shared by with Universal Studios, right? That's part of the problem.
Yes, because it's shared by Universal Studios, and that's why. Because at the time, it was Universal Studios distributed movie. It was not Disney. Disney didn't own Marvel Studios in 2008.
Well, and it was MC. It wasn't MCU.
It was MCU. So that's how they could still market it, but at the same time, that's why Disney. I'm not saying that all Disney movies are good that are produced. Trust me, I've seen plenty of their
well, I'm
Disney
curious.
Original movies that are not good.
So, and this is just your opinion, but is this the? Would you say this is the worst MCU movie then?
No, I still think Iron Man 2 is.
Okay. Yeah. I was just curious. How can anyone like Thor 2? People love it, man. People like Thor 2.
Loki was my saving grace for Thor 2.
Look, let me tell you, there are people that hate Ragnarok. Hate it. And me as somebody that loves that movie so much, I'm like, what could they know? Oh, it's got to be the humor. It's got to be the fact that they took like a couple of serious storylines from the comic book and they turned it into a joke. And I think that's a lot of people's problem with it. Or, Taita's humor is not for everybody.
It's not for everyone. I mean, if you watched What They Do in the Shadows, it's definitely not for everybody.
Worst MCU movie is Thor 2. Thor 2.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, you're right. It is the worst MCU movie. It was
my boy Darkness says, I love Thor 2. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
You stand your ground.
I mean, I don't love it, but it's like, yeah. But
I just watched all the MCU movies on Disney Plus. They are all fine.
They're all fine. Exactly how it is. I mean,
wow, Justin. Guardians 2 made me sick. I think he was here last week.
Because sick because of how it was filmed, or just sick as in like I can't watch it.
JT Gamer?
Sean just looked like Jojo Rabbit was an excellent film.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Oscar worthy? I don't know, but it was good.
Well, it didn't win the Oscar. It just got nominated.
I didn't say
we get to pick out 10 movies. Omar.
You gonna argue with me? Oh my god!
Straight the bottom. This year's gonna suck. I mean, I think that Sonic the Hedgehog's gonna end up getting an Oscar because nothing else is coming out in theaters.
It's gonna be Black Widow streaming, and my boys movie Trolls 2. Shout out to my friend Chris, who was the lead storyboard artist on that movie.
Yes, good job, Chris.
Congrats
I'm sure he's happy. That digital on demand. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. I'm happy for him. That's my boy.
That's awesome.
So,
anyways, no, but the main reason, guys, we're never going to see a Hulk movie.
They do. Oh, yes, Amanda, preach. Go ahead. Talk.
Because I researched this because everyone always says Universal owns the rights. So technically, Marvel actually owns the rights to the Hulk.
Thank you.
Because after 2003, they made the Hulk movie with Eric Bana, and then of course, after so many years, they didn't make another one, so the rights reverted back to Marvel. Except there is a clause that is, I guess, eternal or in perpetuity.
Oh,
that
I can't even spell that
Universal
word.
Studios has first right of refusal to distribute any Hulk movie where he is the starring role. So Disney will not, and that's full distributing rights. So Disney wouldn't get the money for it. So why the hell would Disney do that? So their workaround is to take your favorite Hulk story, Planet Hulk, and make it a Thor movie with Hulk as supporting characters. So you can still get that story and get a lot of Hulk without Hulk being the main character of the story, or else it would have to go to Universal, and Universal would be distributing it, and Disney would make money, and that's not how Disney rolls.
But isn't that in the same way that Universal also owns Namor? So won't they? So then Namor would never have his own movie. It would have to be in Black Panther 2.
So, and that's probably what's going to happen. He would be a supporting cast member of Black Panther 2. We might see him. I don't think we'd ever see a Namor movie. Yes, sorry, too many air quotes. I drank a lot of wine. I apologize, Michael.
She drank one glass. This is what happens. One glass.
Yes, exactly. Disney can make the movie, but why would they want to give all the money to Universal? Especially right now when all of their revenue streams are flat dead, pretty much. They don't have parks. They don't have movies.
They ain't got shit right now.
No, Disney. They just bought Fox, and they're like, crap.
So I'm wondering if She-Hulk falls into that too. But this is a really good question for both of us.
Yes.
What's the worst comic book movie you've ever watched? And I know you and I hated Hellboy.
Oh my god, that might be the worst one.
I
It
remember
was not
we
a
were the
super,
only
like
people in the theater, and I looked at you and I'm like,
us and an old
I
man, I
really
think.
want to leave. I really want to leave. Like
That would be my worst movie I've ever seen. If it's just
okay, it's not
generally
that was
comic book
Cats.
movie.
That was Cats. That
No,
was
you're
one of the
right.
worst. Cats was
Jellicle
horrible.
Cats!
Oh my god,
Jellicle,
Cats was horrible.
Jellicle
But
Cats.
if it's a comic book based movie, I would say that I think I hated this more than I did League. And League was another one that I'm like, I can't
I
watch
didn't.
this. I know you didn't mind it, but
No, but I didn't like Hellboy.
and there's a few that I'm like, this was so bad, but that one to me was just I remember wanting to leave. And I will watch movies till the end because I am a glutton for punishment, no matter how crappy they are, especially if I paid for it. I
Oh,
will tell you all right now, I am not the person that will leave the theater. Like if my wife is offended by some movie or some part
Jay
of a
Blue
movie,
did, he
I am
said.
I am not leaving the theater. But that's just
J
me.
Yeah, Justin, we're talking about 2019 Hellboy.
Oh yeah,
We
hell,
reviewed it last
not the
year.
Guillermo del
Not
Toro
the
one.
not the Guillermo del
Those are
Toros,
brilliant.
because yeah, I like those.
The one of my favorite directors, Neil Marshall. Neil
Yes.
Marshall and and Mignola overseeing the script, and I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know how it went wrong, but
Yeah, I was not a fan of that.
that was probably one of my least favorite experiences in superhero movies, and just in general, it was just not a good
That,
movie.
and then probably I didn't like Birds of Prey at all either. Batman v Superman, that was another one
You know,
too.
I was thinking about that. Like, Birds of Prey was like the last movie you and I went to go see together, and then we had this.
Before this shut down, yeah.
And damn it, I wish we had gotten to see Black Widow at least to go out with a bang, right? Because we don't know how
Oh
long this is
well.
gonna last.
Justin, I think Justin made a comment, was Namor teasing Black Panther with the earthquake comment.
Yeah,
I
I think
believe
so.
that's what I think it was. I think it was a clever way of doing it.
I agree with that. I think that's the way they're going to introduce Namor, and it'll be
I love
Atlantis versus
Namor too,
Wakanda.
guys. I mean, granted, most of the runs I've read of him have been like the Hick Vengers and stuff like that, but man, he's such a good, like,
Douchebag.
dichotomous good guy, bad guy. Can't make up.
That's
Yes,
that's an excellent way of
yes.
putting it. I
No, I
actually lied,
cannot
but
often.
and that's awesome because everybody has a difference of opinion. But
Yeah,
that's
everyone
I'm
does.
glad that you liked it. I know a lot of people did it. It made me laugh a couple of times. So, oh
Wait,
my goodness, look at this!
I was like, I don't think I can
That
do
needs to be a super chat question right there.
I don't need him. I don't know if I could do that.
Sure you can.
I do not love Namor Speedo, because is he wearing a Speedo in the Hick Vengers?
No, he's all decked out.
Yeah, that's the name.
Yep. So let's take some more questions, please.
Is it Dick? Is it Dick Grayson?
Oh, look at you! Look at you!
And then Jason Todd, then Tim Drake?
Yep.
Is there more that I'm missing that I don't know
are.
about? Ah, shoot. Well, the main three, at least I got their order right.
She did. I'm proud of her. She paid attention to our old reader, new reader. Way to go. Birds of Prey was fun. I thought it was pretty fun too. The action sequences in Birds of Prey were freaking
they were
awesome
great
when they were
action
fighting.
sequences. And I appreciated Ewan McGregor's weird turn as Black Mask. He's a good actor. It just overall was, yeah.
Timmy. Chad. No. Everybody forgets Stephanie Brown, guys. Everybody forgets.
Damian Wayne. I forgot about Damian.
Yeah. That's okay, Amanda.
I know.
You took a break from old reader, new reader.
No, I know who Damian Wayne is, though, because I've watched the DC
look,
animated
I know you've
film.
had one glass of wine. Don't start crying on me. It's fine. We'll get you schooled again.
Was he?
You forgot Batman's son, Damian.
Was Damian after Tim Drake?
What's that?
Was Damian after Tim Drake or before? Okay,
yes. No one likes Damian. No one liked Jason Todd, and that's why we killed him off in the 80s.
Poor Jason Todd.
Blade Trinity was. I completely agree with that.
That's
especially
one that
how do you go from like Guillermo del Toro's awesome Blade to Blade Trinity? I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
Guardians 2 was a bad joke. So there's people that don't like Guardians. It's pretty interesting. But like,
you want to? Do you know what the top 3 rated movies for Marvel are on the MCU or for Rotten Tomatoes?
Let me take a guess. Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and Avengers.
You but top rated as far as like the Rotten Tomato scores?
Yeah, like average scores. Whatever.
No,
No, what?
you not get any of them.
God, really? Well, those
Black
scores
Panther's
suck.
#1, Endgame's
No,
#2, Iron Man the original's #3. As far as
Black
the Rotten
Panther.
Tomato, no, that is the
Did they not see the same Black Panther?
97% Rotten Tomato score. I
And
think Endgame's like a 95 and Iron Man's like a 94 or something. Then like
Endgame is higher than Infinity War.
yes, oh, by far. When I looked, I was like, I'm really surprised by this list. I was not expecting to see Endgame as high up here as it was. I think everyone was on a Marvel high when they
I'm
reviewed the film.
I'm
Not that,
really
I mean,
shocked.
I'm saying I gave it a
I'm
good
not
score
saying
too,
Black
but
Panther was a horrible movie, but the CG in Black Panther was ass. Like the final fight in Black Panther was a bad PlayStation 3 game. And I'm not exaggerating. It looked horrible. The rhinos, all that stuff in no.
yeah.
What? Top 3?
I think it, yeah.
Why did I
think
get so
there's
offended
other
like
things that
I'm
play in
having a
that.
stake in
I
this?
think there's other reasons that play that, but yeah.
No, I get it. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but
No,
like,
I mean like
top
maybe
3?
why it got a higher score, but
So it was Black Panther, Endgame, and what was
Endgame,
the other one?
Iron Man, the original.
Iron Man makes sense. That one makes
Yeah.
sense. But I really thought Avengers was gonna be in there. Come on, at least the PS4. All right, fine. At least a PS4.
Yeah, reviewers were more critical of Infinity War, Jessie Christian, because
I don't get it.
And it's why it was, well, I think because it's the same way with the Two Towers in Lord of the Rings. It's the lowest rated Lord of the Rings one. Why? Because it's stuck in the middle where you don't have, not that Infinity War is only a two-parter, but you have an ending that I felt like was a complete ending, but I bet a bunch of critics were like, that wasn't where I think it should have ended. And I think that brought it down probably a little bit, which I don't agree with, because I think Infinity War is great as far as the storytelling was concerned.
I think the story is stronger in Infinity War than it was in Endgame. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Chandasuk, I love the character, but I had mad problems with BP. Even his powers was inconsistent, and his redemption arc was weak as shit. Dude, the women in that movie were the saving grace of that movie, because he was boring as hell.
Boring as, if it wasn't for those 3 women, powerful actresses, I would not have
the BP and Killmonger fight was something out of the Marvel. Exactly. It looked horrible.
Oh, and Killmonger. I mean, let's not. Michael B. Jordan, I liked him as Killmonger.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
He died.
Yeah,
hey, Lord of the
I don't
Rings
have 700
hours to watch.
We all make time to watch the Lord of the Rings extended cut.
That is a movie series that stands the test of time. I watched it how many times?
Amanda's gonna roll up her sleeves and start
everything holds up. That is a fantastic, well done adaptation of a book to a movie. I don't care what anyone says.
We'll let her slide.
Lord of the Rings is not The Hobbit, just the original trilogy. We don't talk about The Hobbit, but that original trilogy, man. Whew.
I'm with you. That original trilogy
I watch
still stands
so
the test.
much.
I watch it every Christmas. Like every Christmas time, I love putting it on.
Quote it line by line. Like for me, that even over all the Marvel movies.
Sean,
Lord of the Rings.
Sean, is there another cut? I don't know if another cut exists. I've only seen the extended cuts ever since I own it.
Wait, I've seen the originals in theaters, but
I did too. But ever since I knew the extent, like
when
there is no other cut. Not in this house. Not in this house.
Return of the King came in theaters. I remember I was in high school. I was a senior, and
she turned all preachy.
We watched. Me and my friends did a marathon of the extended cut of Fellowship and Two Towers, instead of all night watching them before we went to go see Return of the King, and it was fantastic. I cried so much of that movie. Even with the 5 different endings, I don't care.
I don't care. I love the endings. I don't care. Again, I got a lot of hate for the endings, but I loved it. I love The Return of the King. It is one of the best movies ever made. And I was so excited for The Hobbit.
Yes,
so
Michael.
Excited.
LORTLEMN for sure. This is my car. I mean, who can argue that Lord of the Rings is? Yes. Actually, was it our friend? What's his name? Who didn't like Lord of the Rings? That millennial kid or the Generation
millennial
Z kid.
You're a millennial, Amanda.
Yeah, the Generation Z. Sorry.
Harry.
Yeah, Harry did like Lord of the Rings. I was like, yeah, I can't
but
talk
he loved
to you
the Hobbit. But he loved the Hobbit.
Yes, I was like, I can't talk to you anymore. I don't
and we were like, I didn't know they made people like you, man. What?
I didn't know. Like those movies are perfect. Oh my god.
Amanda is dedicated. When she loves something, she
I
will.
love Lord of the Rings. Like you guys don't even
y'all
know.
don't even. Y'all,
I'm about to cry
like,
thinking about how much I love Lord of the
like
Rings.
she's about to cry, and she's only had half.
love it
Oh,
so
she's crying right now. We
I'm
did
crying.
it. We did it. The stream did it. We broke Amanda.
Oh, this doesn't even have anything to do with Lord of the Rings, but I just
No, we're
you
talking
guys talk
about
perfect films that stand the
Incredible
test of
Hulk.
time right there. All right.
All right, man. Here we go. Talk about Hulk.
Yeah, thank you.
She did.
Fabia.
She did for
We
about
did talk
30
about it for like
minutes.
30 minutes. Justin wants to know, who do you think is the most overrated comic book character?
In the comics or in the MCU?
Yeah, in the MCU or in the comic books in general.
Yeah, let us know because we can. I got things. Amanda, I'll cry with you, Lord. Dude. There are some lines in that movie I can't even think about without crying, so I can't. Let's just change
Like,
subject.
I can't carry it for
Stop
you,
it!
but
Stop
I
it!
can.
Don't, you bitch. Why'd you do that? I love that line.
Yeah.
Hulk is like a big green hobbit. No, he's like.
No, he's not.
He's not, sadly.
Sean Astin should have gotten an Oscar nomination. Cinematic Galaxy.
He should have, but you know the reason why he would have lost, and that's the reason why they were. And they were going for. They were going for gold. They got every single nomination that they got an award. So
they want to make a point.
So Justin says, in comic books, who is the most overrated?
Comic books.
This is a hard question for me because I happen to like aspects of just about every superhero.
Yeah, let's think about the popular, like super popular ones.
Squirrel Girl. There you go. I don't get it. I don't get
her either, to be honest. I don't get the hype either. I've tried to read her stuff and I don't understand it.
I've read the comics. I don't get it. I mean, if you love her, that's awesome. But where did this come from? I blame Bendis, but I blame Bendis for a lot of things.
Ooh,
my boy, Magic the Crackening.
Thank you.
Could have been so much better. It could have. I agree with that.
Maybe. I keep wondering what the script looked like before Edward Norton messed with it.
It was Zach Penn, so it was probably trash to begin with.
That's true. He did Last Stand was probably the last comic book movie he did before he went and did that.
All right, so here we go with your all's answers.
God.
Iron Man is overrated because of the movies compared to the comics.
Yes, because I don't really care for Iron Man in the comics. I like the movie, but that's the movie.
Well, I think there's different runs of Iron Man that are great, though.
Yeah.
Wolverine, Rick Nelson, you are dead to me, but we're still friends.
That's
Batman
hard. Is everywhere. In front of Omar.
Omar, I like your name. Superman.
Okay, Batman, I think a little overrated. I'm kind of tired of seeing Batman.
Honestly, Deadpool. I'm surprised he's still as popular as he is.
Yes, because he feels like such a Zeitgeist character that over time you're just like,
I'm so random. Now, unless my boy Fabian Nicieza is writing him, but that's very not often enough. Batman, like I love him, but he's the least interesting character in the Batman comics. To me, the supporting characters and villains are more interesting. Absolutely.
Detective Comics was Batman, though, right?
The Bat Family. The Detective Comics run by Tinian, phenomenal because of the Bat Family. My teacher was Gandalf before every one of my tests. You shall not pass.
That's amazing.
If that really happened, that's awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Squirrel Girl. I'm serious. I don't get it, but
there's a lot of people who like her.
And my daughter likes her, and I'm not like that. I don't look at my daughter and be like, "Get that shit out of your hands."
Yeah, don't
XMEN comic.
Let her find out her
I encourage her to read and love the characters that she does. But I really do want to smack it off her hand and put a damn X-Men comic in her hand.
Oh, Jack Pierre.
All right, so let's see what we got. Superman somehow became underrated while Batman oversaturated. Dude, but Batman's delivery, like in an Infinite Crisis. Oh my God, that line where Batman says, "The last time you inspired anyone was when you were dead." I remember dropping that issue and was like, "Oh shit, you just told Superman." Oh, that was such an awesome line in Infinite Crisis.
I think it really has to do with a lot of the villains. I don't remember, like, even with Superman, what we've read, I couldn't remember except for Lex Luthor. But
For All Seasons was solid.
I know, but I can remember a lot of Batman villains. Like, not even ones that have been in the movies, like Calendar Man, like things that I wouldn't even, I just remember them from the comic books that we have read. And we've read about, I think, a fair share of equal Batman and Superman.
We've probably read more Batman, honestly, though.
You think we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speedball. Dude, Speedball was great. Steve Ditko, if he could hear you. Matt Fraction's Iron Man's is fire. X-Man was trash all day. Havok.
Y'all just trying to make Omar.
You have Havok. He has Havok. That's awesome. I really can't stand Deadpool. Spider-Man. Iron Fist.
I love Spider-Man, though.
Omni Dog overrated. That's
Dude.
Rick. Spider-Man. Whew. Alfred forever.
Wait, but Timmy, your icon is Spider-Man. Do you find
But it's
him
from the
overrated?
video game.
Well, it doesn't. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay.
X-Men cartoon theme tune was the best thing ever. That's something we haven't talked about, Amanda. What's your favorite opening for a cartoon? Do you have a favorite opening on cartoons? Come on. X-Men was
I'm
on
gonna look
point.
at you. I know, yeah, but
You weren't
I only
expecting that
watched-
question
Yeah,
today.
I only watched the X-Men cartoons when I was 8. And I know it's unfair because they're all on Disney Plus. I should probably watch them.
Miracle Man. Overrated? I don't think enough people know about him anymore.
I don't know
right?
enough about him. I just have that one Tom King.
Yeah, and I think that's what and she's thinking of Mr. Miracle, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miracle
Shoot.
Man.
See, I don't even know who he is.
Not enough people talk about Miracle Man these days.
Oh,
he's a wonderful character. I hope we get an omnibus someday. Omar, can you tell me some good omnis? Yeah, absolutely, man. Just in general, like Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. I always go with that one. Annihilation omnibus. If you haven't picked that up, seriously, it's a wonderful story, which we'll be doing. Old reader, new reader this year, because it's time we cover that. DuckTales theme. That's right. The DuckTales theme is one of the greatest cartoon openings of all time. It's been translated to hundreds of languages.
DuckTales. Woo.
Who's the most overrated and underrated rappers? Dude, you're talking to an old man and old lady here. I don't even know new rappers anymore.
Because they all sound alike. You heard Snoop Dogg. He made a big complaint about it, and they do They all make. They're all the same guys.
By the way, favorite cartoon themes. I love that you're all answering Looney Tunes. I played before all the political debates.
My favorite is Tiny Two Adventures. Okay, it's a different time, guys. I grew up in the 90s.
I know, it's okay. Mine is Defenders of the Earth.
I was just thinking about Animaniacs. That's also one that is very. It's very something I can always remember. The Animaniacs.
Dwayne, my boy, my oldest daughter and I watched the movie just a couple months ago. Still holds up, even though I had to tell her the story about Duke, how he was supposed to have died, and she was like, "What?" Animaniacs, Ed and Eddie theme. These are like oh hell, Ronald, you're speaking to my heart with the Galaxy Rangers.
Aw.
Jack Pearre trying to get on Amanda's skin, under her skin.
Yeah, he really is trying to get on my skin.
Amazing Animaniacs. Freakazoid. My wife loves that intro. Clone Wars. I mean, the Transformers. Oh, dude, G1, but season 3, baby. Like after the movie, that theme bumps to this day.
Are you talking about the movie we saw in theaters together that was re-released?
Yeah, that movie.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Power Rangers.
I love shitting on your childhood.
I know. I hate you fucking guts. Near mint conditions theme. My man, Rick Nelson, redeeming yourself for that Wolverine comment. We good.
Yeah.
Silverhawks. We've actually done a panel episode on our favorite cartoon intros.
Yeah.
Twice. We did it twice. We did it 2 years in a row. And Silverhawks made mine. Defenders of the Earth. Mysterious Cities of Gold. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Widget the World Watcher, Gargoyles theme. Gargoyles is solid too. The One Piece for Kids. No, that thing was crap. Dino Saucers. Now, that's my co-host Tina. That's one of her favorite ones. And she's like, nobody remembers that. Dude, I jogged to Mask. There's an extended cut to the Mask intro that I jogged to. Love that theme.
Oh, God, Pierre's just
Jim's always changing his damn theme, man. I can't keep up. I think we did an episode together last week or this week. It was different than the time before we did one. Oh yeah, man. I love Mask. Cops.
Yeah, that's crime. I mean,
future time. Oh, Johnny Quest. Look at all these amazing answers. Okay, I was too old for this, but my cousins and my brother.
My husband is.
Yeah, her husband.
His cousin.
And they love that thing. I'm surprised it wasn't played at her wedding. I'm surprised it wasn't played at her wedding.
No, I have more class than that. We played the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack from the 2004 version with Keira Knightley.
You just had to throw that in there, right? Like the last part. Batman animated was classic too. I love Visionaries, dude. Knights of the Magical. Yeah. Bionic 6 was, yeah, that was good too. Oh shit, just got
Think
real.
about it.
Pokemon was some
Think about
triumphant
Pokemon
shit.
for a second. How it's expanded and has moved past generate. Like, I mean, that still
That
running
theme
strong. Still
was,
running strong.
I mean, yeah, it's great. Digimon. See, I dug Digimon. My wife went to the movie theater to
Captain
watch it.
Planet. Okay,
She-
Captain Planet's a good one too.
It's catchy, right? Except for the fucking little Latino dude. He got stuck with a heart ring.
Well,
Come
I
on, man.
mean,
You're going to throw dude a fire ring, a water ring? Shit, that bitch got a damn wind ring. And you're going to give me heart? What am I going to do with this? Anyway.
wow, we can go all night on this, guys. We got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, we should have made that an episode.
But that's not our segment.
No, what the hell were we talking? Was it really that bad?
Love the
So
whole
at the end,
thank you,
at the end
Justin.
of the
Yes.
day,
It's
at the
not
end
yet.
of the
We're at
day-
the after hour.
yeah, this is part of where the chat takes over and we just start answering questions, man, because we all in this quarantine shit together. So at the end of the day, Amanda, would you
Yes.
how would you answer the question then? Does it really deserve all the hate, Incredible Hulk?
I don't think it deserves all the hate it's getting. It's not definitely one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen. I mean, we have seen so many up together that have been way worse than this movie. So, and I don't know if there's and I don't even know if there's, like, in my mind, if there is a lot of hate for the movie, I just think it's forgotten about. And like I said, it's because since it's not distributed by Disney, they don't put too much emphasis on it. They'd rather put more emphasis on the Hulk they have in the MCU. And yes, this is part of it. They will sell it as part of it, but that's why I think the movie just kind of gets passed over. I don't necessarily think it has a lot of hate. I just think it's just not recognized as one of the not so bad Marvel movies. But then again, you also have to think there's how many Marvel 23?
I don't know. At one time we were keeping count.
There's 23. I think there's 23 movies in the MCU currently. And at some point, there are just movies that end up in the middle and kind of forgotten about or just not given the praise or given a lot of praise. And that's just another fact we have to put into that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that
I think
things like
our chats
Venom,
take it over. They don't even care.
Venom blew up. Like Venom blew up, and I think this was a
know.
better movie than
We
Venom.
have
But
to talk about that, yes, because we both did not care for Venom.
how did Venom blow up? That's crazy. Yes, I was going on a Captain Planet tirade. My bad. Does the Buffy theme show? Yeah, man, it was almost a cartoon once. Chippendale Rescue
'cause I
Rangers.
love
Did
that.
anybody mention Gummy Bears?
I don't think so, but I tried watching that with Lyndon on Disney Plus. She just did not hold her interest. And I was like, I remember this show.
Oh, now we're gonna start some fights though. Darkwing over DuckTales. I don't know. I love Darkwing Duck though, but over DuckTales, man, I don't know about that. High School Musical. Yeah, somebody did mention Gummy Bears.
Who said
Simon, yo, Gummy Bears.
who said
That's
High
right.
School Musical?
Darkness said High School Musical.
Man after my own heart. Or woman. I don't know. Darkness. Doctor Who theme. Yes. The theme in general.
Oh, the theme in general is classic.
Yes.
Somebody Save Me. Is that from
yeah, from Smallville.
I hated that song.
Oh man, when me and Corey went through that marathon, my husband loves Smallville so much.
He had a crush on the main dude. That's why.
No.
The Mulan cartoon. It's okay to have man crush. I have a man crush on my boy Nathan Fillion.
Oh no, I know. It's just, I mean, I think it wasn't him. I think it's
Oh, it's you.
I think it's Michael Rosenbaum. He wants to name our first son after Lex Luthor only because of Michael Rosenbaum's character. So I really think that
was the catch, huh?
That's the catch. Yeah.
The Mulan
and
cartoon.
Michael Rosenbaum was a good Lex Luthor.
Are we gonna bring the Mulan cartoon up again because there's no
I think
singing in this
Jack's
new
just
movie?
trying to piss me off. He's trying to get me right now. I'm not even gonna listen to him at this point.
Hey, welcome to the
To be
club,
fair,
Jack. That's the way she treats me.
You guys know I love the Mulan cartoon. Like, I mean, that's one of my favorites that I have watched several times.
The Game of Thrones theme, man.
Yes, it
Still
is
breaks
good.
my heart. It still breaks my heart. Omar,
Well, do you plan on naming my first son Alexander? We're gonna call him Lex. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
You gotta
We
shave his
just have a
head.
girl, and I didn't want to name her Alexandria because I just was not a fan of that. We already have a long last name, so.
Omar, did you ever do a Captain America reading order? If not, can you do one? Yeah, I'll be happy to. So I usually put that up on our Patreon, and that's so. I guess it's a good time to remind everybody we do have a Patreon, and our Patreons get to vote on what the next reading order should be. Actually, I got to put up the next one for next month. So actually, I might throw Captain America in there. So the Duck comics got finally voted on. So I'll be doing a video on the comprehensive reading order of the Carl Bark Duck comics. You don't like when Amanda's angry. Y'all ain't seen her angry. Boy.
Omar's been on the other side of Amanda angry.
And I warn people too. I know when to push those buttons and when to lay off. Thundercats, that's right, man. Thundercats was awesome. Ninja Turtles. I really want to see a Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter Edition game. Dude, so there were 3 versions of that. There was a Nintendo version, the Genesis version, and the Super Nintendo version, and they all had different characters. Yeah, we said that earlier, man. Herminio Reyes. Silverhawks was awesome, dude. Aqua Teen, Hunger Force.
I remember that.
A comprehensive reading order of Turok. I don't think I have any of my Turok comics anymore. Yeah, the Duck comics are finally getting love, man. My Patreons, after a year putting it up there, I think almost a year, they're finally. I'm gonna finally showcase the Carl Bark stuff, so I'm happy about that. What's everybody's new thoughts on the new Wonder Woman? The gal,
the 1984 movie that's coming out in August.
They still planning it? They still planning on?
Yes,
August?
they are. Yeah, I thought you were talking in the chat. Yes, they are planning on doing August. They have not moved the date.
All right, everybody. We just have time for 2 more questions, and then we got to end it because we've been going over an hour, and my girl Amanda needs to eat, I think, because she's about to pass out from just drinking wine.
Yeah.
Thumbs down on Wonder Woman. I hated the Wonder Woman movie.
To be fair,
you weren't a fan. I thought it wasn't that bad.
Maybe it's because when my daughter fell in the theater and I had to drag her.
That's right. I forgot. You had to leave. Oh, yes. And please don't forget to hit that
like button.
Like button. Thank you.
Yeah.
Disney should cast Amanda as She-Hulk.
That's right. They should cast me as She-Hulk.
Shit. They wouldn't need CG when she hulks out.
That's right.
The best question.
Oh, thank you.
He misspelled my name, but that's okay.
I got it from my mama. I don't know.
Good night, guys. I'm a big fan of this channel. Well, much love to you too.
Yes,
brother.
thank you, awesome gamer.
Thank you so much. We'll be doing this again next week. So, actually, before everybody goes, this is a question for you all. Do you all want us to do I'll put up a poll for the worst rated DCU movies, or do you want us to go back to our
just generally the
worst rated superhero movies? Let me know in the chat. And
Thank you, Jack. I love you, man. I know you're kidding.
There it is. Got it from Amanda's mama.
Yes, he did. Oh, God.
Apparently. She's just giving that shit out. Peace and blessings to you all. I'm out. Thank you.
General worst movies.
All right, so general movies. Omar has an omnibus. Yes,
he does. I mean, it is.
Let me tell you something. I bring the ladies down. I bring the ladies down here, and they all say the same thing. They're like, "Damn, boy, look at your omnibus collection." Yeah. So if you want, okay. So it looks like general movies. Do DC. That's easy. All DC movies. General movies for a certain time span.
It would be nice to do a DC movie. Just maybe fact that the last 3 we've done have all been Marvel movies. No,
yeah. Why don't we take it?
Sorry, Green
Lantern. We did a DC movie. So why don't we do a general vote next time and then a DC one the following?
That sounds good.
Sounds good. It seems like people want to do that.
It seems like we'll be quarantined forever.
I missed the stream. Yeah, man, but you made it here just to say hello.
Yes,
Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Edit out Ed Norton and Julie had Matt. I don't know about that, but
I do.
Whatever. Not Professor Hulk.
No, but
I loved him in Avengers. In the original Avengers.
Yes, the original Avengers, he was good. Yes, you love that when he's like, "I'm always angry." You love that line.
That's a Joss Whedon line. I love it. I love it.
You love that line.
All right. You're right, Amanda. You're right. So, everybody, thank you for joining us. Amanda, why don't you do us the honors?
All right. So thank you guys so much for watching our show. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at @NearMintCon. Remember to follow us on our Patreon and support us if you'd like to. Check out our Redbubble for some awesome Near Mint condition merchandise. And remember, everyone, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Have a good evening, and we will see you soon. Good
Soon.
night.
I love that. Soon. Review Hellboy 2019. No.
We
we did.
We did actually.
last
If you
year.
want
Yeah,
to
if you
get
wanna go
on the
back.
channel, go to our reviews. You'll see our review of Hellboy 2019.
There's your answer. Good night,
Too
everybody.
soon. Night, guys.